Assalamualaikum, this is Hareem. I hope you all people are fine and safe. Welcome to your class of English grammar and speaking. Firstly, subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon. Today I am going to teach you about present, future and past, simple, progressive and perfect. So in English, verbs can refer to present, future or past time. So in present tense we can say I am watching you. For she will see you soon, we use will in the future tense. For the past, we use the past form. Who said that? We haven't used the word say. We have used the word said. Who said that? For each kind of time, there are three possibilities with some verbs: simple, progressive, or continuous. Progressive or continuous are the same. We use be plus ing in progressive or continuous, and perfect. Have plus past participle. Some present we use simple present is I start. Present progressive I am starting. Present perfect I have started. Some grammarians use the word tense only for simple forms like goes or went. For forms like is going or has gone, they prefer to talk about progressive or perfect aspects. And they say that English has no future tense. These are the principally questions of terminology, non-grammatical fact, and have no practical importance. In practical English usage, the term tense is used for all verbs, forms, and structures that indicates time. So now I'm going to discuss about tenses and time. So let's discuss the number 2, tenses and time. There is no direct relationship between verb forms and time. For example, a past verb like went is not only used to talk about past events. For example, we went to Morocco last January, but also about unreal or uncertain present or future events. For example, it would be better if we went home now. And present verbs can be used to talk about the future. For example, I am seeing Daniel tomorrow. Also, progressive and perfect forms express ideas that are not simply concerned with time. For example, continuation, completion, present importance. Let's discuss the table number 3, table of active verb tenses. This is a list of all the active affirmative forms of an ordinary English verb with their names, examples, and very brief descriptions of typical uses. For example, information about the forms and their uses, sees the entries for each tense in section 3 to 5. Name. So the name of the tense is simple present. Constructions, that how the tense will construct. Same as base form infinitive, but as on third person singular. For example, I, you, we. They work. We use works for he and she. So let's discuss the example. It always rains in November. Typical use. What is the typical use of this tense? When we are talking about general time, permanent situations. Now comes the present progressive. We use is, am, are plus ing. I can't talk to you now. I am working. So typical use of these tenses: actions continuing at the movement of speaking. Present perfect. We use for the construction we use has, have plus past participle, and the example is I have worked with children before, so I know what to expect. Now comes the typical use of this tense. The typical use is past action with some present connections. Now the table is continue. We are going to discuss about present perfect progressive. We use has, have, then been and ing. So the example is it has been raining all day. and when it is used, so continuation up to the present. Simple future we use will plus infinitives. For example, I or we shall also possible. The sentence is it will rain tomorrow, and the condition information about the future. So we are talking about the future, about some information. Now comes the future progressive. Will be plus ing. I, we, shall also possible. So the example is this time, tomorrow, I will be lying on the beach. So continuing, situation at a particular future time. Future perfect will have plus past participle. We use will have. Will have is the helping. It is helping the tense. It is helping the sentence. It is the helping verb. Have is a helping verb. Plus past participle. I, we, shall also possible. I will have finished the repairs by this evening. So, we are talking about completion by a particular future time. Now comes the future perfect progressive. Will have been plus ing. I, we, shall also possible. So, we can use I, we, shall also possible. Now comes the example. In June, I will have been working here for 10 years. Continuity up to a particular future time. For simple past, we use regular verbs, for example, base form and infinitives plus and minus, e and d, irregular verbs, various forms. So now comes the example. I worked all last weekend. I saw Jack yesterday. So it is representing the past events. We are talking about the past events. So next comes the past progressive. So the construction of these tenses was, were plus ing. And these are the helping verbs. We use were when the subject is plural. We use was when the subject is singular. Example, I saw Jack when I was coming out of the supermarket. Typical use of this tense is action continuing at a particular past time. Past perfect, we use had plus past participle. I could not get in because I had lost my keys. Action before a particular past time. Now comes the past perfect progressive. In past perfect progressive, we use had been plus ing. I was tired because I had been working all day. So, the typical use of this tense is continuation up to a particular past time. I hope that today's lecture is clear to you. Give your views in comment section and do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Okay then, Allah Hafiz and take care.